Hello and welcome to the second week summary of the I Can't Sing course provided by the Torquard Ensemble. My name's Carolyn and I'm leading the sessions. So this week we've been thinking about pitch. Pitch is the actual notes we sing, so obviously it's pretty important. So we're going to spend a whole week on that. Before we do, a quick reminder of the small print. So don't do anything that's going to hurt or make an existing injury worse. Can't guarantee you'll be Beyonce when you finish. It's £2 per session. There aren't any tie-ins, but we'd love it if you stayed. And we may use photos or videos on our socials, and you may well have seen some of those from either of the first two sessions. Okay, so cracking on then. Here's our third part of an anatomy lesson. So this is something like what your ear looks like, and you'll see that in our sense then sound will come in just here. There we go, sound's going to come in here and it's going to move around in there. It's going to hit your tympanic membrane, your eardrum. And then all this clever stuff kicks in, which I have to admit I don't really understand because I'm not a biologist or a doctor of any kind. So sound comes in through our ears. So our hearing is quite important. Our hearing is something that we don't really appreciate until we get older and we start to lose it a little bit. When we're young and we go to really loud gigs and we don't worry about it too much, we don't realise that we're going to lose some of our hearing as time goes on, and that's different for all of us. For me personally, I've lost the upper part of the hearing in my right ear, and that's because I also play the flute and the piccolo, and the piccolo is particularly high, so it's that part of my hearing that I've lost. So if you're still young enough to have the opportunity, please wear earplugs when you go to loud gigs. There are some really good ones on the market now, from very cheap and perhaps not so effective through middle of the range. You know, the Loop range are really good because I've had some of those. Or you can get what I have professionally, which are filtered earplugs that are made to fit exactly in your ears and are filtered to the right level. Mine are filtered for orchestral playing, but you can also have them filtered for all sorts of other things. It doesn't have to be a total block. You can still listen to what's happening and save your hearing at the same time. So, lecture over on hearing. So that's the most important thing. We're going to hear this sound. Then the next thing that happens is our brain does something incredible. Our brain does lots of incredible things. It also does some rather annoying things. But on this occasion, it's going to do something incredible. And that's that it hears that sound and then it translates that through neurons and connections and all that clever stuff into an exact amount that our vocal cords, or vocal folds as you see them here, both the same thing, are going to vibrate. So they vibrate really quickly for high notes and really slowly for low notes, and of course everything in between that. And that's the part that can sometimes go wrong. That connection between our ear and our vocal cords through our brain might be the thing that stops us being able to sing, but it's really very rare indeed. For the rest of us, we're going to be able to learn how to create that sound. Now, on pretty much every other instrument, with the possible exception of brass and occasionally strings, is fairly straightforward. If I want to hear the note middle C on the piano, I know it's that one and I can hit it. For most of us, if I say sing me a middle C, you'll go, well, where's that? There are some people who have perfect pitch and we will be able to sing you exactly that C. I have a kind of a relative pitch. I know just about where my voice C is, but if I tried to guess it without having played it, I might be slightly out. So for most of us, we need to hear something in order to repeat it. So when we're learning songs in singing lessons and in a choral situation, what we do is use a thing called call and response. Now you can replicate this at home using wherever you stream your music from. Perhaps you've got cassette tapes. I love a cassette tape. You could stop it and rewind it and stop it and rewind it until you've learnt that connection. It's quite a long way round, isn't it, really? You might want to use YouTube or a streaming service or a CD or whatever. But if you listen to that sound and keep on practicing it until it's right, you will get it right and you will learn that part of the song. Now, it's important to say that practice never makes perfect. I never say that practice makes perfect. It does make progress. And if you don't stop and do that little connection exercise, then you might find that you are getting really good at the mistake and that you might always sing that thing wrong. And it's really difficult to undo. Like any habit, it's really difficult to undo. So I'm going to run through the exercise that we did at the beginning of the session in week 2. And that is that I am going to play and sing a little exercise on the piano, and you are going to repeat it. So I'm just going to play them for now. You can sing them along at home. Okay. So here's our first one. La, la, la. Hopefully in that gap you have repeated. Okay, here's the next one. La, 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 la. And it's worth saying at this point, if that's the pitch I can sing at, you might need to sing it down here. That's absolutely fine. Wherever is comfortable in your range, so long as you're singing these notes in some register or other. Okay, here's our next one. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. That's the next one. La, la, la. Where should we go now? La, 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 la. And finally, you'll notice they're getting slightly harder as we go up. Oh, where shall I go now? La, 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 la. And hopefully you'll hear that you did all those beautifully. If not, go back and do the exercise again and just get used to hearing the sound and repeating it in a call and response way. So the next thing we did in this session was talk about reading music. Now, reading music is a bit of a dark art, isn't it, really? It's a bit like witchcraft if you've never done it before. But what I was saying to people in the sessions is that it doesn't really, don't tell some of the people I trained under, or some people I know, maybe, I don't know. But being able to read music isn't the be all and end all of being able to sing. There are plenty of singers out there who can't read a dot of music. What the music helps us with as singers is knowing whether the notes are going up or down, and also how fast or slow those notes are. So if we look at this piece of music here, Life is but a melancholy flower. It's a very sad song. I'll sing it for you shortly. Then you'll see that, well, there's some bits at the beginning you can ignore. Those little B's mean flats. That's telling you which of the black keys we need to play in place of white keys on the piano or on whichever instrument we're playing. And we can see some dots with sticks in the first 2 sections. We call those sections bars. So there's 4 notes and then a little line. That's a bar. And those dots with sticks mean 1 beat. And you can see just before that it says 4/4. The top number means how many beats there are in a bar, and the bottom number tells us what kind. 4 means that dot with a stick, which we call a crotchet. The Americans call it something else, but we call them crotchets, not crochet. That's different. So you can see from those first 2 bars that the notes are going to be 1 note per beat. And they're going to go ever so slightly upwards and then back where they started. So here is how this tune goes. You might want to call and response, sing it after I've sung it. So I'm going to sing it twice. Life is butter, life is butter. You may have already started to recognise that tune. So you may not be surprised when you see the next bar and hear how that goes. So now we've got some lines across the top of our sticks. That tells us they've halved in value. And then we've got one that's a stick and a dot, but the dot's not coloured in. That's twice the value. Generally speaking in music, the more ink, the faster the note. The less ink, the slower the note. So here's the next section. Melancholy flower, melancholy flower. Excuse me, I'm recovering from the cold I had in that session. Getting there. Okay, so you've probably now guessed how the rest of this tune is going to go. So we're going to sing it all the way through. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Life is butter, life is butter, melancholy flower, melancholy flower. Life is butter melon, life is butter melon, cauliflower, cauliflower. Very nice. You'd see now why it's such a sad song. And what we did in the session was, you can see there it's marked A, B, C and D. We can sing this as a round. What that means is that, you probably did some of these when you were at school. It might be a very long time ago, like it was for me. But one group will start at letter A. When they get to letter B, another group starts at letter A and sings all the way through the tune. And eventually you've got 4 sets of people all singing the tune all the way through. But it all sounds really beautiful. So, what I'm going to do, this could work or not work, is I'm going to sing you in. So I'm going to start singing with you, life is butter, and then you're going to carry on and sing melancholy flower, but I'm going to go back to the beginning so that you're then singing in a round with me. So you just keep singing everything you can see all the way through the tune and ignore me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Life is butter, life is butter, life is butter, life is butter, melancholy flower, melancholy flower. Life is butter melon, life is butter melon, cauliflower, cauliflower. Very nice. And when we did that in the session with all 4 parts going, it was really beautiful, even though it's a really basic tune. Obviously it's worked based upon Frère Jacques and his ringing of the bells. And then after that we learnt some songs. So the first was a song from South Africa called Senzedina, which roughly translates as What Have We Done? And it's a song all about looking for freedom and longing for freedom and perhaps never quite finding it. And if you look on the playlist of songs, you'll hear a version of that song. We're also going to be singing this with our main choir at our prom concert in July the 19th. We're going to be doing a bit like a last night of the proms. First half of the concert's going to be music from around the world, including this song. And the second half's going to be a more traditional last night of the proms with Land of Hope and Glory and Jerusalem and all of that stuff. You'd be very welcome to come along. Little plug there. And then we sang some other songs. So we sang Lean On Me, which is a great song to sing some harmony in. I'd love to be able to do that now, but it's probably going to be too hard. So if you go on YouTube, you will find loads of versions of that. Yeah, so that was that one. And then we sang Hey Jude. And similarly, we when we got to the end, sang with the na 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 nas, some harmony there as well. So we're not just singing tunes, melodies as we call them in music, you're also singing harmony. Harmony is when 2 or more notes are put together and they sound beautiful. So a tune would be na 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 Hey Jude. And a harmony might go something like na 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 Hey Jude. Put the 2 together and you've got a much richer texture of sound. And the more parts you add to that texture, the warmer and thicker and more beautiful it gets. And that's what singing in a choir is all about, really. Putting together all of those amazing voices in all their different beautiful uniqueness together. So there we go. That's this session done in 15 minutes-ish. Next time we're going to be talking about our oohs and ahs, because we will talk about why vowels matter and how we form them, and about opening resonance space inside our mouths to create an even warmer, richer sound. That session will be on Wednesday the 5th of March, and the QR code there takes you to the playlist. And that's it for this session. So hopefully we'll see you on the 5th of March. If not, keep an eye on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook page where we will link this, and you'll be able to catch up. But we really do hope we will see you in person on the 5th of March. Bye for now. Keep singing.